everybody. It is a year that Orange Therapy has been on YouTube. I've fallen off the pace a little bit. I'm going to address both of those things. What I've learned in the year of being on YouTube, different areas of growth, fears that have been overcome, and I want to look at motivation and why remembering our why is important. Sit back and let's look at these things together. So I've been on YouTube with this channel, Orange Therapy, for a year now. And I was looking back, painfully so, at my very first episode the other day and kind of laughing. You know, I had fears, there was that feeling of perfectionism, there was huge self-doubt as I was engaging in this new process. Now, I knew that my beginning was going to look different than my middle and my end, which it has. And I have learned some incredible things. I'm not yet where I want to be, but I'm further along than where I was when I began. And so I want to impart some lessons that I know are true, not just from my studies in psychology. I'm a professional counselor, not just from those studies, but from my personal experience as well. So the first thing I want to mention is that doing something consistently, doing something that's important to us, that's hard. It's hard to show up time and time again. It's hard to continue to do it when the growth is slower than what we expect. You know, we make behavioral changes in our lives. I work with clients on a regular basis who come in and they make changes and they say, "But Julie, my life isn't changing yet." And I remind them that there's that yet at the end of the sentence. When they first start seeing me, they say life isn't changing, and we use the word yet. Because what we know is that growth happens over time. And the degree to which we progress, the speed, the ability depend a lot on our consistency. Being consistent in using the tools that we know we need to use, that's important. Showing up time and time again. It requires that we have self-discipline to do this. Self-discipline is easier when we have this consistency because we're doing it and so it's easy to do it. But sometimes when we fall off, it's because we forget the reason that we began. And so the second thing that I think is important is to remember our why. Why are we doing the thing that we are doing? For me, with this channel, it's because I can only see a certain number of clients in my office in a week. I can't clone myself to see more clients. I can't drink energy drinks so that I can have the energy to see more clients. It's not sustainable to see more clients than I see. And so I wanted to find a way to be able to impart additional information, maybe to people that I couldn't fit into my own office, but maybe to people who don't have insurance, who can't afford to see a counselor, some tips and some tools that could be beneficial. My why is to reach more people because I can't see more people in my space. And that's really important to me. So as I embarked on the channel, that was the purpose. It was to be able to reach people or to impart more information to my clients that even are coming in to see me than what I'm able to give during a session. Maybe there are tips and tools that they can get in this way when they're not involved in their own story in the office space. And so it's a very great tool that we can use for that. So my why is to reach more people. And you need to keep that why in front of you because when things get hard, when you become tired or drained or overwhelmed, and those things are the things that we know inhibit motivation to embark on endeavors. When we're drained, if we keep our why in front of us, then we are more inclined to keep going because I know the reason why is doing this. I need to remember the what as well. What will happen if I stop doing that thing that I need to do? What will happen to my momentum if I stop? It's often more difficult to begin again than it is to begin. So whatever behavior we're engaging in, we need to be consistent in it, because it's easier to keep going than it is to start again. Talk to any of my runner friends, or to myself. If you fall off and you stop your training, or you take a hiatus from running, it feels more difficult to get going again because you've been there before. Why aren't I there now? I have to go through all of the process again. We can get there using the same tools, but we ride the struggle bus sometimes when we're doing it. So we don't want to have to begin again. We need to remind ourselves, what will happen if I stop? I'll feel badly about myself. Somebody else might not know that I want to produce a YouTube episode weekly, and that over the past couple of months I fell off my schedule. Somebody else might not notice that. But what happens to us when we notice it? Well, I'll tell you, we beat ourselves up. And when I talk about self-compassion and understanding, it's because when we're beating ourselves up, it doesn't motivate us to get going again. It doesn't motivate us to get back on pace. We need to use the tools to be able to get back again. But if I don't fall off, I don't have to use those tools. So I'm saving energy if I can keep going. And I can keep going if I have appropriate rest, appropriate food intake, appropriate balance in my life, appropriate boundaries, so I can have balance, then I can achieve my goals. So you can see at the end of this first year, all of the topics that I've covered, and I encourage you to go back and watch them if you haven't, they all go together. Mental health, positive mental health, achieving goals, getting out of a depressive funk, dealing with post-traumatic stress, treating schizophrenia, bipolar, anxiety disorders. There are so many things at play. And so because there are so many things at play, there are so many ways to come in and help ourselves, but there are also so many ways that we can fall off. So when I notice in this thing that's hard that I have maybe fallen off course, I need to notice, what have I stopped doing that was benefiting me and helping me do something? And what have I started doing that is not of benefit to me with my mental health, with the goals that I have in mind, with the why that I have in front of me? So for myself, being self-reflective, looking at this year in my YouTube video and recognizing that my why is helping people. What happened to me? Why did I fall off course in these last couple of months? I started to take on more tasks. I started to do more things, and sometimes there's an adjustment period. I don't feel overwhelmed. Don't worry about me. I'm not at risk of burnout. But I took on more things, and sometimes it's a period of adjustment. But I recognized that I was doing things that were pulling me away. I didn't keep my why in front of me. My why is clearly in front of me now. I noticed that I was staying up later with some of these other goals, and so I wasn't as rested. So that's an area I can fix. These are things, it's not to beat myself up, it's noticing again. Noticing. So noticing at the end of this year on YouTube for myself. This is something that is difficult to do week after week, because you have to come up with a concept, you have to record the concept, you have to edit the concept. Those people who do these enormous channels with all of these incredible cinematography pieces, hats off to you. I mean, it's a lot of work. But I can do hard things. You can do hard things. What is the why behind your hard thing? You can also do something when you don't know how to do it perfectly. My first episodes on YouTube, to me, are kind of cringy when I go back and look at them now. And in a year, hopefully, this episode will be cringy as well as I learn more things. There's a saying that says, don't be afraid to suck at something new, right? If you have a goal, if you have a reason why to do something, begin. Don't be afraid to be imperfect. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Don't be afraid to grow and change. Don't be afraid to fall off course from time to time. There are lessons in the falling off times as well. Yes, it's difficult to get back on track, but you can do difficult things. Life is about learning. It's about growing. It's about celebrating as you go on. I celebrated when I had 20 subscribers, and then 30, and then 50. Listen, I'm a big deal now. I've got 116 subscribers. I mean, I laugh, but I was really excited when I got over 100 people. Thank you to those of you who have subscribed. I hope that you are getting something from these videos. I'm a little bit all over the place today. I feel like maybe this will be the most cringy video of all. But I want to express to you as well how thankful I am that you show up, because you are the reason why I started this venture in the first place. So thank you for viewing. If you haven't already liked, subscribed, and shared, please do so. As we go into the new year, my focus is going to be on motivation, as probably a lot of channels will be focusing on motivation. So we're going to be taking a deep dive into motivation. Know your why, first of all. It's something that we can fall back on. Why am I doing this in the first place? If you're a runner, the reason why might be for your mental health. It might be for your physical health. It might be for your mental and physical health. It might be to show yourself and everybody else that you can. What's your why? I thank you for being here. I hope that you engage with me here on YouTube. Put comments down below. I love to hear from you. Email me. I will even post a link to my very first cringy video so you can watch it if you haven't already. I can post that down below too. Have a look at it. Let me know what you think. Thank you for being here at Orange Therapy on YouTube. You are welcome here, whether you are setting goals, whether you've fallen off your goals, whether you're crushing your goals. You are welcome here at Orange Therapy on YouTube, exactly as you are.